Hello everyone, Hamas28 here, and welcome back to SkyFactory 4. So, as we left off last episode, we're going to be heading into the Nether to collect some wither skeleton skulls and kill ourselves a wither. How'd you get off the treadmill? Interesting. Looks like he does get tired. It did seem that the treadmill maxes out at 4 pick watts per second, which is pretty cool. That really only translates to 4 FE per tick, which is not a ton. But I mean, it is cute to look at. Now to actually get to the Nether, we just have to eat a Nether cake. And it's not working. I think I need to like clear up some food. Let me run around a little bit. Did I do something wrong? I don't get it. Craft, place, and eat a Nether cake. Cake. Nether cake. Oh, this is the wrong one. I made this, not this. So we need a cake surrounded by obsidian, which means I'll need another cake. That's awkward. All right, round 2. Place the Nether cake, eat the Nether cake, and teleport. See, this is what I was expecting. So you get 6 bites from the Nether cake, letting you teleport, and I should probably leave the overworld cake neither here nor there, in some place I can reach, and this spawn is terrible. Wow. Reminds me of that YouTube Minecraft ARG looking for a world that doesn't exist. In case you've seen that. By who? Wolfies? Why do I have 2 of these? I thought I just made 1. Unless you get a second one when you visit over. In which case, that's pretty cool. Now let's see, there are some ores. We're going to have to make our way to one of these fortresses. But other than that, I think we're good to go. We don't really need to collect anything because we have a little bit of glowstone. We can make soul sand. Well, actually making soul sand is pretty annoying. We mostly just need these skulls. And these guys are probably going to be annoying. So let me expand about this platform, cover it a little bit, just in case some gas spawn, and then we should be good to go. Alright, so we made it. I definitely want to get access to some kind of creative flight at some point, so we can fly around and travel a lot easier. I just got to figure out how to do that. Now thanks to my upgraded pickaxe, we can get... Oh, there's blazes in here. Interesting. Let me grab my sword. Let's see if we can dig down into this. And see if we can fight some stuff. Although I just need these skeletons and not much else. But I will take the blaze rods. And I think the bleeding can take him out. Yep. Oh, no, he's still alive. 13 armor. Okay, they're actually pretty tanky. Luckily, so are we. What's in here? Ooh, the inventory crafting cake. Nice, so I don't have to craft it. The thing that's cool about this is when you eat it, you get a crafting grid, so I don't need the handheld crafting table anymore. And how can this guy see me through the wall? Not quite sure. Anyways, we need to kill some wither skeletons, and I think we can one-shot a zombie pigman with our sword here. Because they only have 20 health, and I believe our sword does like 25 damage. And it does. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Now we just have to harvest some wither skeletons and get some skulls, and we're good to go. Oh, what's this? Antidote Charm. Auto-cure poison and wither. Okay, that's broken. Wing Charm. Gives slow fall after 6 blocks. Also broken. Engraved Thunder. Charge and launch lightning orbs. Okay, that's really underwhelming. Cool though. Let's see. So I want to turn on... How do I turn you on? Oh, there we go. So I can just wear that and now I'm immune to poison and wither? That's actually crazy. Let's see, what's in this chest? Searches out the nearest spawner. Cool. Air Charm. Walk on air. Okay, that's broken. And there's literally no cost to that? Okay, it has a durability, so it does break. But you can enchant it with unbreaking and mending. Well, that's pretty broken. And this, it's not even that difficult to craft. That's crazy. You just have to remember that it might break on you, so you have to be a little bit careful. But now I could literally just... What's the durability on this? It doesn't say, but I can just literally just walk out like this. And let's take a... Oh, uh-oh. Okay. Looks like if I go into my inventory, it turns off for a second. Because for some reason I started falling. That was weird. Oh, I touched the wall. So if I touch the wall, I start falling. Good to know. And here's a wither skeleton. I'm pretty sure they get one shot. And they do. Nice. They also drop sulfur. It's a little annoying. I have beheading too, but it looks like the chance of getting a skull is still pretty low. So I'm going to be here a little while. And there we go. We're all set. 3 wither skeleton skulls. Now the only other advancement left in here is it said to place some water into the nether. That's not supposed to happen. And place a boat. And how do I actually get the achievement? Place water in the nether. Oh, it must be... It probably doesn't read this bucket. So if I do this... Hell of a boat ride. There we go. Let me hide in here. It's really weird that we can place water in the nether, but I'm not going to question it. Now we also need to get some cobalt and some ardite, and that's pretty much everything we need to do in the nether. And I think I can see cobalt and ardite over there. There's quartz. Yep, there's cobalt, and ardite is over there. And then I'll grab some glowstone as well, because we're pretty low on that. And I'm just now learning, I can't actually mine the ardite or the cobalt. So I was looking at pickaxes. It looks like if I make an obsidian pickaxe head, it does have the mining level cobalt. Looks like steel is only obsidian. Which just means I can just swap the head for the obsidian one to mine this and we'll be good to go. It does look like ardite is pretty good though, in terms of stats, and then we can use that to make manulian, however you type that. Yeah, manulian, because this is an alloy of cobalt and ardite. I'm just not sure how good this stuff is. Because if we use this to make, let's see, many, okay, it's spelled many, look at the armor stuff, defense 20, and this is 26 with the upgrades, so maybe it is better. Interesting. Maybe I should upgrade my armor to manulian before we fight the wither. Won't take too long to get it, especially now that we can fly or walk on air. So I'll just upgrade the pickaxe and be right back. So now we take this obsidian pickaxe head, we come over here, we swap the heads, so now it's mining level cobalt. We do lose quite a lot of durability, but we gain durite, which makes your tool last longer most of the time. And we can head back to the nether, and now we can mine this ardite ore. Go ahead and hit the ultimine button. And I did not want all that netherrack. That's the danger of ultimine. And now we just need some cobalt. Now we grab the cobalt. I can't believe it's not lapis. And we're good to go. That's it. That's really the only progression in the nether that I can see, and that's really all we had to do. And with this much cobalt and ardite, we should be able to make quite a lot of manulian and be done with it. Ardite dust, melter into molten ardite, alloy this, yeah, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, and we'll be good to go. And then, because, see, this is one of the things I like the most about Tinkers. You don't have to rebuild all the armor, just like I did with the pickaxe, we could just swap it out. Now, yeah, this pickaxe does kind of suck though, on the durability standpoint, because I only mined, I think it was all this netherrack actually. We didn't mine too much, but we already lost a lot of durability. But I'll just update it to Meniulin. Is that how you pronounce it? Meniulin. Ardite. Meniulin. Yeah, I think that's it. Meniulin. But other than that, we're good to go, and we really don't have to come back to the nether anytime soon. Well, an enderman teleported into the tank, and now we have resonant ender and some blood. But I took all of our manulian, and now we can update the rest of our armor. Huh, not like that. I thought it'd be that easy. Do I have to combine this into a full chestplate then? I might have to do that. Oh, that's a helmet. Oh, wait. There we go. Armor for the armor forge. We get a little bit more toughness and some more durability. And we trade steady, which is less knockback for you, more for your attacker, for vengeful. Your attackers might not feel great after hitting you. Nice. And now we got a little purple trim to go with the steel and the diamond, and we're a lot stronger. Now I did make some more of these guys so we can do some embossing for some other stuff. I just wasn't sure what to emboss it with, you know? And it's funny, I guess I never played with this version of Tinker's Construct because as I was doing research on how to get, what do you call them? The modifiers, how to get more modifiers on stuff, that's actually what the XP is for, which makes sense. I like that. I can see why a lot of the stuff I read about Tinkers was how a lot of people don't like that the newer version just has you craft an item to get modifiers. That way you actually have to use the item and grow with it through XP to get more modifiers, which is pretty cool. And now to slay the Wither, we're gonna do what we do best. Trap him in a cage and beat him up. And here it is, our Wither-proof cage, made from reinforced glass from Tiny Progressions. Pretty easy to craft as it's just glass and soul sand. Makes dirty glass, and then you mix the dirty glass with obsidian to make the reinforced glass. And now, I don't want to have to fight the Wither 2 times, so what we can do is go ahead and make ourselves the Wither data model by crafting ourselves a blank data model. And we can start working on, what is this mod called? Deep Mob Learning. Now, what are we missing? We're gonna need a bit of sooty covered redstone and a redstone repeater. Pretty easy stuff. See, I've never actually made this. Crafted by crushing redstone against a block of coal. Interesting. So I'm gonna need coal. Enough to make a block. And then redstone. And is this all you have to do? Place down the coal. No, that doesn't seem to be working. Sooty coal. Sooty redstone. Soot covered redstone. Left click. Interesting. And then you just keep spamming left click. Cool. I've never actually done deep mob learning, like in depth at all. But that's good to know. I like when they have their mechanics be a little bit interesting. Now we can go ahead and craft our blank data model. And I believe the way these works, I did watch who was I watching? What was the name? I was watching this guy, he makes videos where he beats an entire mod pack in a single video, and I remember him doing this with the data models. So we go ahead and place our soul sand, place our wither skeleton skulls. That's not where you go. To summon the wither, and his name is Generic B. Okay, that does not look like a wither to me. And once he's fully summoned, I should just be able to right-click him with this, and we're good to go. He's gonna follow me. And now if I move over here... Okay, he's under it. Come on. Okay, come on, up, up, up. Into the cage. Perfect. Okay, now we just have to close the cage back up. And he can't leave it. Good, good. Now, unless he somehow teleports out of it again, we should be fine. Okay, so I should be able to finish him off now. I kind of wanted to fix the floor, but he's not going to let me. Luckily we do 30 damage a hit, so we only have to hit him 10 times. And I think it fell to the floor, because I don't have it. Uh-oh. Oh, I see. Okay, so the antidote charm broke. That's the problem. It ran out of use. I wonder if you can repair it. Not sure how I would do that, though. But that's a little annoying. So I'm not sure how he escaped, though. Unless... maybe I just have to make it a little bit bigger. And the mob farm didn't take any damage, right? No, the mob farm is fine. That's annoying, we didn't get our item. And it didn't count as us slaying the Wither, right? No, we did get it, but we just don't get our, what's it called, Nether Star. Which is annoying, because now I can't use it to make the Wither data model. Which sucks. Non-pacifist. I wonder... Yeah, I think I have to do that. So I'm going to have to summon again. And I'm going to make this into, instead of a 3x3 interior, I'm going to make it a 4x4. And maybe that should fix it. So we'll come back in a second. I also need to make an antidote charm. So how do I craft this guy? Antidote is just fermented spiderite, nether ore, and diamond. Okay, so that's really cheap. Not concerned at all. Alright. 3 more wither skeletons. I've built the reinforced glass dome to be a bit bigger, so now we should be okay this time. I'm prepared for the worst though if we're not. Oh, I should make some food actually before I do this. I didn't think about that. Luckily we have a bunch of wheat, and he also killed our shopkeep, which is a little annoying. Let me turn off the air charm for right now, and quickly harvest the wheat and make some bread. You know, I always forget golden carrots are the superior food. They're just so cheap. Okay, so now if we resummon him, he should hopefully not escape. And now this one is Valkyrie of the Night, so he shouldn't escape. Now that he has a little bit more room. Okay, perfect. So now we could easily take him out and get our Nether Star. And there we go. Supremium Essence and our Nether Star. And we are now accustomed to our Steel Cleaver, which I think means if I come over here and go to my Tool Forge, we have 2 more modifier slots. Nice. So now I can make it even stronger. 2,000. It seems like we get a lot of XP from the Wither. We also get Supremium Essence, which is really nice. I wonder, does that let me make our Inferium? Inferium Seeds Tier 1 takes Inferium Essence, so yes, now that we slayed the Wither, we can finally get access to our seeds, because now I could just take 1 Supremium, make 4 Superium, into 4 Intermediarium, into a stack of Prudentium, into our Infernium Essence. Now if I just combine this with a seed, we can make Infernium seeds and get started on mystical agriculture. Nice. And this actually helps a lot, since I can just slay withers for Supremium Essence. That should make getting the production really fast, because I can just use the essence to make the essence farmland. As long as it's here, right? Essence farmland. Wait, what is that? Oh, tier 5 crafting seed. I thought it was like a Supremium seed, which would have been really cool. Let's see. Is there no farmland? Farm essence? There's no essence farmland in this pack? Interesting. There's no essence farmland. That's weird. I wonder what I'm supposed to use then. Or do I just plant them on whatever? Because usually you need essence farmland to actually grow this stuff. To grow it pretty fast, but I guess not. Now, there's not too many crops. Now, what's the difference between the tier seeds as well? Because I noticed that. I noticed that there's different tiers of Infernium seeds. Infernium seed tier 5. Tier 6. Tier 5 seeds make 5 Infernium essence. Where's the tier 6 seed? Tier 1 seeds make 1. And we can make a prosperity sapling. Okay, I think I understand. So in SkyFactory 4, instead of using different tiered farmlands, we just craft a higher tier Infernium seed, which it looks like it's tier 6, and then the tier 6 seed in a seed processor gives us 6 essence. So there's no chance-based gameplay, it's just more processing, which is interesting. Because yeah, making the ultimate seed reprocessor is actually not that expensive, because it's just 4 wither skeleton skulls, and Oh no, these are Supremium seed reprocessors. So it is pretty expensive. It's expensive in terms of time spent and not effort. That's what I mean. Regardless though, gives me something else to work on, which is pretty nice, because I did make these for the deep mob learning because Nether Star doesn't really produce a lot of stuff for us right now. It was mostly enhanced ender ingot. Yeah, I don't think that actually does anything. It was mostly just so I could have it and finish the advancement. Now it does look like we'll need them to craft these statues for the different mobs, which is another advancement, which means I just have to take this, add our Nether Star, to make the Wither data model. Now if we go into deep mob learning, oh, I typed too much, deep. We can make ourselves a simulation chamber, suit covered plate, more obsidian, but I need some more obsidian. We can make ourselves a simulation chamber along with the loot fabricator to start producing pristine wither matter. Oh, we also need this to make the cobalt sapling as well. And then we can use this to make more supremium. Okay, so this is actually a cheat code in mystical agriculture to skip over a lot of the grind, which is really cool. So now with 3 obsidian, we're going to make ourselves some suit plates, then make ourselves a suit covered machine casing, and okay, never mind. Make some glass panes. Where's all my glass? There it is, glass. Make some glass panes. Make a redstone thingamajig. Oh, it's a comparator, so I'm going to need some redstone torches. Where's all my redstone? Throw you in here. Make some redstone. Now, we can make ourselves the simulation chamber. And throw in our wither data model down the rabbit hole. Now for now we'll just put it right over here. And what do these need? These also need something. Insufficient data in model. Oh. I see. So I have to kill the wither 6 times to actually use the data model. And then it'll cost 2048 RF per tick to actually run the simulation. That's crazy expensive. And then I also need to make polymer clay, which is pretty easy. I don't have to worry about that. But I'm going to have to kill the wither 6 more times. Nice. I should probably also make the wither skeleton data model too, so we can print these. What's the use on here? And this is 880 RF per tick, which is not that bad either. Just gonna take some more work. Luckily, I can do both. Alright, well that was easy enough. The first one I killed dropped the head, so now we can make the wither skeleton data model. And now if I hold this in my hand, every time I kill one, we should be able to collect some data. And I also leveled up my armor as well. Now we're at comfortable, and I get another slot. So now we just have to go around and fight some more wither skeletons, and we'll be good to go. Another one gone. Let's see. Oh, it's not working. I'm not getting more. How do I get more out of this? I thought that's all you have to do. Alright, so it's actually just doing it wrong. I have to craft ourselves a deep learner, which will take a couple of these redstone repeaters to make a deep learner. Then we right-click this and put in our data model, and now we hold this in our offhand and then slay them. So now we go back into the Nether and we kill some wither skeletons until it's done. A 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, and you're number 6, buddy. Get on over here and meet your maker. And we're done. Skeleton model has reached the basic tier. Now, at this point, we could keep slaying wither skeletons, but if we just let it run the data model by itself, it'll auto-upgrade as it goes, I believe. At least I think that's what it does. I'm not actually sure. I'm kind of just talking without having 100% knowledge on the situation, you know what I mean? Regardless, we also get our wither skeleton heads, and I can slay another wither. So now we can take this guy out of here, throw it into the simulation chamber, and add ourselves some polymer clay. And that's really all we have to do to start working with deep mob learning. And we don't have any clay. Make some clay. Yep, that's a lot. Turn that into clay. Make some polymer clay. A stack ought to do it. Throw you in here. And it gets to work. Launching runtime, iteration 1 started. And this guy will start producing hellish matter. And once it gets all the way up to self-aware, we'll have a 42% chance. Right now it's a 5% chance for the pristine wither skeleton matter, which is still pretty good. So you can see we can turn that into more wither skeleton skulls, which will help with fighting the wither. We can make it into coal or necrotic bones or infernium essence. We're probably just going to use these to make skeleton skulls until we finish out the wither data model and then just start converting it into essence, because I don't think we need these for anything else really. Interesting. So there is some uses for that. So we can use these to make nether stars. Although can't we just, yeah, we can make these from the pristine wither matter. And that's really all it's used for, right? Yeah, so I don't really see a point in that, but I mean, it's useful. And you can see we already got some hellish matter, which we can use to craft all sorts of stuff. Like I really like that we can craft blaze rods using that, and blaze powder. And we can also convert it into extraterrestrial matter, or make soul sand. All really good stuff. And now I could take this deep learner, throw in the wither data model. Do not approach this enemy. Run. I mean, it has 3 heads. What could possibly go wrong? Well, we just have to defeat it 6 more times to get basic, and then we can start printing. Of course, this guy consumes power like crazy, so we're going to have to upgrade our power setup just a little bit, because I don't think our simple culinary generator and the gas burning generator are going to be able to keep up. But in the meantime, I also need to craft our loot fabricator, which will take more obsidian. And I think that's it. Yeah, and then yellow dye. I think we're low on yellow dye though, don't I? If I remember correctly. Okay, no, we have 9 yellow dye, so we're low, but I have enough. But then, other than that, not sure what else to do after this. So that will get us, not a quarter, like 33% of the way there if we finish these. And it wants us to craft a zombie data model. So let's craft one of these, zombie data model. And I'm always missing the redstone repeater. Blink data model, and combine it with zombie flesh to finish off the advancement. And then for the progression, we just need to collect all the different types of matter. So from the Twilight Forest, extraterrestrial from the end, hellish matter from the nether, and overworldian matter from the overworld. Not that difficult. And then acquire pristine enderman matter, pristine ghast matter, pristine zombie matter, and pristine wither skeleton matter. So we're already working on this one. Then we just have to slay some zombies, slay some ghast, and slay some endermen. Endermen will be easy since they keep escaping. Zombies a little bit more difficult, but not by much. I think we can summon them too, now that I think about it. Zombie essence, well, we can grow them, that's for sure. Yeah, zombie seeds. We can grow zombies and then fight them for their essence, which is pretty good. But I'm definitely going to need some more stuff, that's for sure. So, with all of that in mind, we have outgrown our simple storage. It doesn't scale that well, I don't want to keep adding more chests, and chests just aren't that good of a way to store tons of items, especially in the scale we're about to be working with. So I think it's time we delve into the age of storage and get access to AE2. Now something I found really neat was that in this pack, there are no channels, so we do not need a controller. This is dangerous, because now I don't have to manage channels, I could just build things as big as I want. So to start, we're going to need the energy acceptor, which will take fluix crystals, which we're going to have to figure out how to craft. It looks like we make them by combining crystallized mineral chunks and redstone in a metallurgic infuser. Now we have access to redstone in abundance. But I'm not actually sure about the crystallized mineral. Mineral? Okay, never mind. I forgot I have a tree growing it over there. I just thought that the mineral chunks were like a byproduct of something. So now we can do this to make our fluix, and this is probably one of the easier ways to make fluix now that I think about it. But how do I get Certus quartz? Huh, there's no Certus in this pack. So how do I make smart cables? Smart. Okay, there's no channels, so I guess we don't need smart cables. So we can only make colored cables and glass cables. Interesting. So I guess we don't need Certus. And then we technically don't even need the covered cables as well, because there's no difference between... There's no functional difference, I believe, between the glass cables and the covered cables. The covered cables are just like an intermediary step between making smart cables. So really, after this, yeah, glass cable is just 2 fluix and quartz fiber, and this is just crushed quartz, which we can make in a crushing machine. So we are going to need a crusher, an advancement made, breaking bed, which is down here. But now using these, we can make an energy acceptor. Energy acceptor. Oh, we need quartz glass as well. So we're going to need another crusher so we can crush some quartz. But that's easy enough to make. We just need some control circuits and a steel casing, which we should already have. Just need to get some lava. Like so. Something I found annoying, I made this silver water bucket because it stores more water, but I found it's really finicky. Like, if you use it to make lava, I mean obsidian in a stone cauldron, the first 2 charges work, but it doesn't register the 3rd charge, which is very odd. So now we can use this to make a crusher. Click. And why am I missing so much stuff? Yes, make some redstone. Thank you. Put in my other lava bucket. Oh, that's not right. Where is my steel casing? See, this is why I don't like this storage. It's not working now that it's full. If it gets too full, it just doesn't work anymore. So crusher. Click. What happened to the steel casing? See, I guess the steel casing doesn't exist. Because that was the first thing I crafted. Crusher. Steel casing. Yeah, see, it's going to keep breaking because it doesn't have room for all the items, which is very annoying. Now we make our crusher. We grab ourselves some quartz. And we get to work. So let me put the crusher right here. Oh, there's nothing actually connecting it. Never mind. Put the crusher right here. Put in our quartz. And then make ourselves an energy acceptor. And then that's basically it to get started with AE2. We just have to start crafting all the other machines. So we're going to need the energy acceptor. Don't need these 2. We're going to need we're going to have to craft the presses so we can make the processors. And that seems to be what we need to do. Logic press and silicon press. Oh, where do we get silicon in this pack? Silicon. From AU2. Smelting crushed quartz. Easy enough. And then to make these molds, we just make them out of cobblestone. Interesting. So chisel head with cobblestone and an inscriber makes it. An inscriber is just fluix. So if we come over here, inscriber silicon, cobblestone, inscriber, we need 2 sticky pistons. And then we can craft ourselves an inscriber. Done. Then we just need this guy. Can be crafted into the advanced inscriber later on. And then to make our molds, what do? Will not be consumed when creating a mold. So this guy is used. Oh, I see. Okay, so to make the presses, we're going to need 4 of these circuit molds. One will be poured with a block of iron, another with a block of steel, one with ferroboron to make the engineering press, and one with tough alloy. And tough alloy is just lithium and ferroboron. Ferroboron is boron and molten steel. Where do I get boron, though? That's a good question. Now, if we hook this guy up... Oh, we can't hook him up to power because we don't have an inscriber. I mean, not an inscriber. We don't have an energy acceptor, which we'll craft right now. I need to make the quartz glass first. Now we can make the energy acceptor. Then we need to make a cable to connect all of it. What am I missing? Oh, right, the little one. Quartz fiber cable into glass cable. So now if we take our power source over here, we can add glass cables, and we can connect the inscriber, and we can inscribe. So now we just need the chisel head, which I believe we can craft pretty easily. Or I might have already made it. Chisel head looks like this one. We're going to make it out of wood. We're going to come over here, add that, and melt down 2 pieces of gold. Now we pour the gold over the chisel head to make our chisel head cast, and then we can use the cast in our inscriber to make our molds with the cobblestone. So that goes in here. Then we place 4 cobblestone. Oh, you can only do 1 at a time. To make a cobblestone circuit mold. And then we need to pour steel and iron on top of these, and we need a block each. So now we're going to melt down our steel and our iron, grab our cobblestone kit, put you there, and we can craft our inscribers. Now, why do I have these particles around me? I'm not actually sure. Not sure where that's coming from, because I should be immune to this. Maybe I should drink some milk. Maybe that'll fix it. So now we pour the iron on top of this to make the inscriber silicon press. And now we pour the steel on this one to make the logic press. And we get the advancement Silicon Valley. And oh, it did mention it's not actually consumed when making the mold. So I actually didn't need 3 more of them. And with that, we can craft the logic processor, make it ME terminal, and it looks like we can't actually make the drive bay until we make the engineering press and the calculation press. So we're going to have to figure out how to get boron and ferroboron, because I haven't seen them. So there we go. That is illogical. Let me leave that in there. So to make the engineering press, we have the silicon and the logic. So we need calculation engineering. This takes molten tough alloy. Molten tough alloy is lithium and ferroboron. So where do we get lithium? Okay, so after searching, it seems like boron ore is just found in the Twilight Forest and Lost Cities dimension. So maybe that's the same with lithium ore? It is. Okay, found in the Twilight Forest and Lost Cities dimension. So I don't actually have to process lithium from nothing, although I could do that later on just so we don't have to explore the Lost Cities, which means we're going to have to venture out to the Lost Cities, which is in the end, or in the Twilight Forest. Oh, so if I took a look at advancements, that's where it tells you. Travel to the Lost Cities or Twilight Forest to get uranium, magnesium, boron, thorium, lithium, tritanium, and dilithium. Advancement even Scotty doesn't know. A banger of a song. But that means we're going to have to enter the Twilight Forest using the Twilight Forest cake, which I'm not sure if we can craft yet. I don't know how to spell it. There we go. Which will only take a cake and flowers. Interesting. Luckily, we could just buy those. I just need to make another cake, so let me make some emeralds. And we're also going to need another market because our previous market perished. And we don't have any of this, and we don't have any wool apparently. There we go. You go in there. Red wool. Market. Now we can plop you over here. Put in our emeralds. Purchase our flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I just got to craft another cake. Can I buy milk from you? No. So now we should be able to make ourselves a cake. Never mind, what am I missing? Wheat and egg. Egg. Wheat. Make ourselves a third cake. Combine this with our flowers to make the Twilight Forest cake. And place this guy down, and we'll put you over here. And now we can head to the Twilight Forest. Never actually been there in a long time though. So let me put away my stuff, because I don't need to carry all this junk with me. And now we can head to the Twilight Forest to find our ores. But I'm sure you already realized this episode has gone on quite long enough. So I think our foray into the Twilight Forest is going to have to happen next episode. But as always, I'm your host, Hamas28, and I'll see you guys next time.